Right, good evening everybody. Welcome to Virtual Pool 4 Online, and we have another challenge match, and this is going to be one pocket, a race to three, very tight pockets. I'm just, hopefully the two guys are joining the stream, that way we can easily talk to one another rather than me typing in the chat. Steve was supposed to be joining, but there's a big update for Discord. Well, that's a good suggestion. And so he's probably still updating Discord. So what I'll do is go over the settings. Are you guys in the stream, or are you just staying in the room? Obviously you don't need to stay in the stream once we start, because I've not seen anything in the chat. I do it, they're not.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening, Steve. You did the big update to Discord there. I had about 13 files or something to install.
Did I do the update? I don't think I did the update.
Yeah, it's a big update when I started it. I'm waiting.
I already had it running, so it probably needs to be restarted, but I'm not doing it now.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if these two guys will join the stream. It just saves me typing everything. I should have everything set right. Well, there's Bedhead, and I don't know whether Slim's going to join. There he is. There he is. Right. Good evening. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quit the game, or quit the match, and put the two players in, and we'll look at the settings. It's one pocket. The advanced settings, the default is alternate break, call shot off, default, 3 fill, default on. We're going to lag for the break, obviously, and no jump cues. Now that's the first part of the rules.
And there's no handicap? They're playing even?
Oh yeah, yeah. And the table is set to the tournament table and very tight pockets, and it's a race to three. Now the wager was intended to be $6,000. The guys should have agreed now that it's going to be $5,000, so the wager, I'll put that up to 5 for the match. And there's no shot clock. What was you going to say there, Steve?
If you hold those buttons down here, if you hold the button down, it'll rotate through fast if you just keep it held.
Yeah, it doesn't rotate.
Didn't know that little trick.
Yeah, it doesn't rotate to $6,000 though, Steve. It jumps from 5 to 10. You need to fix that. Anyway. Good evening, everybody. Everybody happy with the settings? The players are put into play. We're going to lag off for the break, so good luck to both. And welcome to Steve. He's going to be the expert, so he's got a wealth of knowledge of one pocket, so he's going to divulge all that information to you guys. We're just waiting on both guys accepting the settings. They're both thinking about it.
Yeah. One last chance to bail out of this bet.
Right. Now the timeout's counting down. You think I should test that and let it run to see if it actually works? Or do you think I should just start it? I think I'll just start it.
It should work, yeah.
Right, good luck. And thanks for joining the stream, guys. That makes it a lot easier to get it set up. Now,
Where's Semi-Pro? I don't see Semi-Pro in here. Is he in here
yet? No, he's not a one-pocket man, I don't think.
Oh, he needs to learn how to play One-Pocket. I mean, I know he's looked at some One-Pocket videos.
Right. Well, Bedhead's won the lag. All important, the lag in One-Pocket. Very important.
Yeah, and these shorter races, this is only what, a race to 3. You know, the lag is important getting that break, because the break is a fairly big advantage in One-Pocket. And that's a pretty good break. Cue ball's a little higher than you'd like, but not bad. So I don't know how much everybody knows about One-Pocket, but you know, after the break, sometimes it can be kind of tricky. You know, you basically have to get out of this situation. I mean, the shot here is probably to clip the 4 ball and roll behind the 12. You do not want to get down on the bottom rail and leave a bank shot. You could also bank the 3 and try to pin them on the rack. You don't want to do that. So he just sold out here, so we'll see how much damage is done. But this could cost him quite a few balls.
Now, excuse the writing, guys, but that's whose pocket swat on the table as we look, because it's the opposite way round when you're looking from my view. I mean, I could go that way. Hang on a minute. Well, that's not working now. That seems to have defaulted. My Y button.
That view is from the other end of the table, the orientation that's shown up on the score. So this is pretty common in One-Pocket where, you know, somebody takes a chance or tries to get out of a situation they don't, and it costs them a lot of balls, potentially the game. I mean, this could be a break and run out here.
Yeah.
Well, not a break and run out, but a run out after that mistake. You know, he had some ways to get out of that. I don't think that, I'm not sure what he was trying to do. It looked like he was trying to force the cue ball forward. I think, you know, if you couldn't get it pinned on the rack, it was probably better to try to duck somehow.
Now, why would my Y button reset itself, Steve? Because I had that defaulted for a view from the other end, and it's not working. Oh, there, it's working now. There we go. Now that then, the problem with that is it makes the thing disappear. Let me bring that up. So looking at it from this end, the table is right as far as whose pocket's what. Bedhead's on the right as we look, and Slim's on the left.
Well, he hit that bank well. Let's see what he does here. I mean, you know, he's in control now. 5 balls is a pretty significant lead. So, you know, at this point, you want to knock balls up table usually, but he cannot do that from here. He's going to play a shot where he puts a ball by his pocket, which is always good because in this situation, Slim is going to have to do something with that 3 ball.
Yeah, he's going to have to get rid of that. But
yeah, he can bank this, although it's pretty difficult to protect the cue ball here.
Well, when you say bank it where? Cross bank it or bank?
Yeah, cross bank it. The problem with playing shots in One-Pocket that you have to solve is you can shoot at anything you want, but you have to be able to protect the cue ball. He's going to run the cue ball down behind the 3 here.
That's going to scratch. That could be fatal.
Yeah, and that's usually very costly in One-Pocket scratching.
Oh,
Yeah, you can shoot it whatever you want, but you have to protect the cue ball. Unless you make the ball, of course. If you know you're going to make the ball, then you can shoot at anything. Otherwise, if it's a chance you could miss, you need to protect the cue ball and leave it in the spot where you're not going to sell out. This is a game for a tactical genius, you.
yeah. The problem with One Pocket is that I find, and I've only played it very little, is that yeah, it's so easy to get caught out. Um, one mistake and you're done for. Sometimes, yeah,
It
every
could be
shot you
that
play,
way.
yeah, every shot you play, you've got to look at where how you're going to connect with another ball, that sort of thing. Um, suddenly you've got the game in your hand, and then all of a sudden you play one shot, and the game's just gone entirely the opposite direction. It's so penal if you make a silly shot.
Yeah, it can be very penal, but I mean, it's sort of the nature of it. And there's a lot of table position shots. Like that he's trying to get 15 ball in position and protect it. Use the 10 ball to protect it. So
Mm,
that's basically a shot to improve his table position. You want to do something positive every shot. You want to get balls in a better position. I mean, ultimately, you want to trap the guy where, like, you put a ball by your pocket and lock him up against something and put him in very difficult situations.
yeah, yeah,
And because the game goes that way, better players tend to play this pretty aggressively. Um, and it's actually very exciting because of that. But, you have to be really good to be aggressive. That's a well played shot there.
yeah. That's a good one. Using the spin
See,
and the
and
angle.
that's the kind of shot you want to do. Usually, if you have the cue ball by your opponent's pocket, that's a good place. Now he's made it so that he cannot bank any of these balls. Now Bedhead's got a problem. He's got to figure out, how to get out of this. Um, I mean, one thing he can do is try to make a play on the 7. Although I don't think that's necessarily very good. He's going to try to kick at the 10. Now this is not really all that bad a play because if he misses the 10, then it's only a foul and he just spots the ball. He doesn't sell out the table, um, except for the fact that I think he left him a bank on the 15. He wanted to hit that harder because what he wanted to do was get the cue ball down to the end rail. So that was kind of a mistake hitting it that easy. I don't know if Slim's going to shoot this 15 ball because it's one of those make it or probably lose the game type shots.
Yeah, the worry I
Yeah,
would have
he's
had with that 15 is the cue ball squirting out and leaving a cut in the 6.
it was probably going to leave something. So he decided, he didn't get him very good on the 6 ball though because he can see the 15. The play here is to hit that 15 out of there and put the cue ball on top of the 7 or close to the 7 on the end rail. And he hit that way too hard. Now I would have gone forward with that to the long rail and back. Trying to play that with draw actually made the shot tougher. So he's got some options here. He's probably going to try to protect his 10 ball because it's in pretty good shape. Now it looks like he's going to bank the 15. One pocket's a little tricky to commentate because you usually have a fair number of options. Um, that wasn't a terrible play. He did not hit that 15 ball very good, though. I mean, that was not that difficult a bank shot. So Bedhead's going to try to move these balls out of there. And that was a
Oh,
good play.
that's
He
improved it.
accomplished a lot
Yep.
because he got the 3 ball in a good spot. And Slim can't see it, and he didn't give up a bank. There was some risk in that he might have gave a bank up. Well, maybe he did. He looks like he's looking at this 14 ball.
Yeah, it goes between the 3 and the 10. I think that's the 10. That's a good shot.
Yep. So that was I mean there's going to be some risk involved in some shots. I mean Bedhead, he cleared those balls out, didn't hit them really all that hard, and the shot did not work out for him, and it might have been better to try to put the cue ball down on the end rail just because it eliminated giving up that bank.
Well, this is going to give Slim a good chance to get himself back in it. Certainly, we'll give him another 2 after this one.
Yeah, well, this rack could easily be run out. I mean, the tricky part here is going to be is how to break these balls out. He got himself not good on the 7. He needed some angle there, so
yeah.
The 2 ball does go if he can get there.
Yep. Yeah, he's trying to get back across.
No, he didn't get there. I mean, if he could have got to the 2 ball, he would have got the whole rack because it was easy to break out those other balls.
Well, here's a brave shot with spin. If he can get a nudge, he could end up locked up though.
What he should do is shoot the 6 and try to bump the 3. That'll get him a shot on the 2. I don't think he's spinning it enough though. Nope. That was a terrible shot. I'm not sure.
That was a bad one.
I think he tried to hit that with inside and run into the 1 or 2. I think he should have hit that with outside and bumped the 3.
Good evening to Jose. Good evening to everybody else I've missed. I've been too busy looking at what's happening in the game.
That was well hit. I think this game is over.
Well, the other thing is as well, am I right in saying it's their first to 8 points? Because I've totally forgotten.
Yeah, if they're playing even, it's 8 balls. Now, with these tight pockets, this shot's not guaranteed if he's going to try to get on that 1 ball. It's a little tricky.
That's a good shot.
He hit it good.
Good shot.
So, yeah, this game should be over. All he has to do is force this over, and he should have a shot on the 2. He's a little straight in, but I think he can still do it.
I think he'll split it and push it out. No.
No, he.
No, you don't. That was a shot.
One more.
I was too busy concentrating. I wasn't looking at the score.
I miscounted. All right, so the typical 1 pocket break here, if you don't know, is you're going to try to hit the ball. You're going to roll it with inside English and try to hit right between those top 2 balls.
You see, that's where I've been going wrong. I've been hitting the bottom, the 3rd ball down rather than the top 2.
Well, you can go to the second 2. It just depends on how the table's breaking. If the table's not breaking good and you're selling out, the second 2 is safer. So he's got a few choices here. If he's going to shoot the 14 back into the rack, that's an aggressive play because it's going to be hard to get the cue ball past the 10. Okay, he's just going to roll it. That's not a bad play. It's not super productive, but on the other hand, he already has the 12 ball over there, so he wasn't in a position where he was totally screwed with nothing on his side.
So as we look, Slim's on the left side, Bedhead's on the right side pocket. I don't mean the side pocket, I mean the corner.
Slim's going to probably try to protect his 10 and 15 balls. And that is not good. I'm not sure what he was doing there. Because he just sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to get that cue ball over there, somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd diamond.
Goodness me, there's Gary B come out the woodwork. What's brought him out? Welcome aboard.
Oh, hey, Gary B. Well, he probably wanted to see some 1 pocket because.
Well, don't blink. It might be
One pocket.
It might be over. Might be over quite quick.
Well, I mean, Slim can't afford to make those kind of mistakes. I mean, I know what he was trying to play, but it was so poorly executed. And it wasn't a particularly difficult shot either. That was well played. He gives himself a chance. I think he can bump this one ball here, but I'm not sure he's going to come up with a shot because he can't hit it too hard.
He may well hit it too thin and end up behind a 15. If it depends on the weight he hits this, the way it's looking
Well,
at.
if he ends up behind the 15, that might not be bad, but it's hard to hit this hard because you're not going to hit the one.
Yeah, he's going to run behind the 15. See, the tactical genius spotted that one.
Well, I mean, a little more speed and he might have got a shot on the 15. I'm not sure that he does. But he could play the 15 off the one ball if he wants to. I'm not sure I'd do that. I mean, he has to be aware of not giving up a bank on that 6. And I'm not sure that's so wonderful either because he just gave up a bank on the 15 ball. Slim is going to shoot this or not, but that bank is available. Yep, he is going to shoot it, and he hit it well. I mean, I think, you know, at that point, Slim almost had to take a whack at that ball, being down 4 balls already, and it was a fairly safe shot.
Bedhead going to try and drop this out, or just because it's pretty
Boy, that's
straight.
risky.
I mean,
Uh,
I think he's going to have to. He's going to have to give him that.
There.
He's going to have to
I
give
think
him that.
He has to give it to him. And the key here is giving it to him in a way that he's not going to give up a bank on the 4 or the 6.
Yeah. Good evening to Hairpig.
Yeah, that's no good. That's an easy kick. He's going to want to hit this with some speed. He may just bank the 6 into it. That's another option. I'd probably bank the 6 here because I think that's, you know, it's easy to get around and get on the 5 and the 2.
That looks nice.
Yep.
Now, I think it's a bit tight to be running the 2 past the 6.
Well, that might be his best option because the combination with the 14 is
plenty of
tough.
room. Plenty of room.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with that angle and stuff, even with a tight pocket, it's not that bad. I mean, these pockets aren't super tight. I think they're 4 inches. The thing that makes them tough is the shelf on the pocket is deep. See that? You know, the ball will sit in there. The shelf's very deep on this table, and if you hit the long rail and it rattles, it's probably going to hang up.
So you're saying very tight pockets is 4 inches in real life?
No, I'm saying these are. I mean, my table that I have is a 4-inch pocket table, but it doesn't play this tough because my shelves aren't this deep. I mean, the shelf makes a lot of difference, and the shelf, the cut of the pocket, and how big the pocket is, all 3 combined, how tough it plays. Plus, of course, conditions like humidity and how sticky it is and stuff. But this table is not. This table is tight. I've played on tighter tables in real life. I've played on 4-inch pockets a lot, but this table is very difficult for a 4-inch pocket table because of the shelves.
This is very tight pockets here, Pig. So we're all square in the second rack. Bedhead's 1-0 up in this race to 3. Oh, there's a little bit of a lag there.
Well, he tried to get that to open up, and it did not. And yeah, Yeah, I think he sold this one ball out. That was not a good play. I'm not sure he's going to be able to come up with anything after he shoots this, except for a bank on the 4. He is not taking that shot on. And I think, you got to have a comfort level shooting at these pockets. Most one pocket players, higher level one pocket players, would have shot that one ball. But, if you're not, and I think there was some risk in there. I mean, the Q was going to hit the 3 ball and the 14 ball, and you could get yourself in trouble. So that might have been a prudent play.
Now, this is the thing about One Pocket. I found out that when we played it, because we hadn't really a clue what we were doing, we ended up table a lot of times, and the games lasted like 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean that's typical. I mean, the better you get, the less you're going to have up table, but you're not going to eliminate that. There's going to be up table games, but then again, better players typically understand how to play up table and take advantage of things a little better. I mean, you can still get guys trapped up table. There's shots you can still play to get people in trouble, but there's less opportunities to do that, so it's usually going to take longer. And if it's more novice players, it could take forever. Yeah. I mean, a good thing to do is go on YouTube and watch some of the one pocket. There's a lot of stuff from Derby. There's a lot of money matches. I mean, you watch guys like Josh Roberts or Justin Hall, Tony Chohan. I mean, you watch those kind of players play, and you'll see a lot of aggressive play. Scott Frost is another one. I mean, these guys all play very aggressive, and the races typically don't take that long.
I'm looking at the table, I'm thinking, what am I going to do in this situation here?
Well,
You bank the 1 up to your pocket, but you've got to keep that cue ball. Well, he's banking the 10. Or is that the 12?
I'm not sure what he's doing there. That was a funky shot. I'd probably I'd try to do something positive here, because he's gonna move the 5 ball and go behind the stack, which is risky because they're kind of spread out. That's what he looks like he's looking at. I mean, he's gonna sell out a bank here probably. He's just gonna hit it easy. He's still gonna sell a blank out. Well, he didn't. But I didn't like that play. That was very risky. He needs to do something with that 5 ball. I wouldn't leave it sitting there unless he's got a play to do something productive. He could bank the 1 and put the cue ball over on the long rail, like maybe 2 or 3 diamonds down.
That period, or full stop as we call it in the UK, is to signify who actually broke.
Yeah. So that kind of shot isn't that positive a shot. He's just trying to get out of the situation. And if you watch really strong one pocket players, they don't play those shots that often. They try to do something positive every time, because if you play that kind of shot against somebody that's real strong, you're not going to do well, because they're going to be aggressive and they're going to play a lot of positive shots, and you're going to get in trouble pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a good opportunity here.
I personally think this game can hurt your head. I think you could come away from this game with a severe migraine.
Yeah, thought he would take a whack at this one ball, but he's not. He may not like it because of how the 4-ball's sitting.
Yes, Mark. I advise Steve to go and look at the video and see those rules. The rest is up to Steve now.
Yeah, I took a look at it, and the funny thing is those rules are actually stated on the website under Cowboy rules. It's just the game isn't doing it, so I need to take a look at why. I don't know if it was just never done correctly or whether something changed and caused a problem, but it obviously isn't working right. Uh-oh. That's no good.
Well,
Well, now that's a good example of what you don't want to do. Because he'll be lucky if that doesn't cost him the game. I'm not sure quite what he's looking at here.
well,
He just shoot the 3-ball.
Slim's got to bank the 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's looking at.
But he's
Maybe he
got.
just wanted to get a scope on the whole table. Whoa, why'd he hit that so hard?
Oh dear. You see the
Boy,
cue balls travelling.
I don't understand that. That's the kind of shot you want to roll because A, if you miss it, you want it to hang in the pocket, which that may not have, and B, it makes the pocket bigger, and C, the shape on the 5-ball was automatic. That was crazy speed there.
Well, now Bedhead pot Slim's 3-ball, gives him that ball, leaves him in the pocket.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a whole lot here. He could shoot the 2-railer on the 14, but the scratch is on there. I think he's going to have to look at table position. He's also could shoot the 2-railer on the 10, but I think he risks selling out the 14 ball.
Now, when Steve talks about the 2-railer and the 10, Steve's talking about pushing the 10 ball down to the short rail in the bottom end, left side rail and back up towards his own pocket. That's the sort of terminology I assume Steve's using here at the moment for all of us who aren't one pocket players. Well, now it's getting interesting. We're up in the long grass.
Well, he's got a pretty good opportunity here.
Now, there's a gap between the 14 and the 8. Nice angle to run this down towards his pocket. And also cover it as well.
Good play there.
Yeah, he covered it up.
That was the right play. So, now the question, what do you do here? You can try to get rid of the 4. I don't think he can. He can try to play something positive. The bad thing about the 4 is it's a blocker, so he can shoot this 14 and put this cue ball back down around where it is. And, there's no shot because you'd have to shoot a combo on that 4-ball, and nobody's going to shoot that. See, he should have banked that 14 at his pocket and left the cue ball down here in that same area.
I'm surprised he didn't.
Yeah, because see, that's not a positive shot. That was a get out of the situation shot. He could have put the 14 by his pocket, made it so that Slim could not shoot at the 4 because it would be a combo, which you got to be crazy to shoot, and then he's got a ball by his pocket. So instead, now by doing that do nothing shot, now he's got himself in trouble because
he's got to clear this out.
Yeah, that was just, he can bank the 4, but he's got to make sure the cue ball hits the 14. If it doesn't, then he's going to sell out. I would probably bank this 4-ball. That's what he did, but he didn't hit it. Well, he made the ball. Good thing.
Yeah, because he left him in there.
He missed the 14 ball. I mean, he wanted to really run into that 14 ball there. Well, he's probably just going to bank this 14 too. I mean, he's got some other options. He could shoot the bank on the 8 ball and put the cue ball on the 110. I actually like that shot better. I'd bank this 8 ball. It's the same sort of situation he just passed on. See, that's just that's just giving him a bank back on the 14. That's not a good shot. He should have
Mm-hmm.
banked the 8 ball and stuck the cue ball on the 110.
There's always a
He
risk when you're playing those crossover banks of the double kiss, running into trouble that way. So you've got to get this shot right.
Yeah, it's just he shouldn't even had that shot, and he didn't get it close enough to his pocket because he just gave the bank back. You need to hit it better than that because otherwise you end up with
Yeah.
with this situation.
But you see where I mean, this is a tight corner now. Um, to try and bank this and avoid the double kiss. Let's see how he does. Or is he just going to push it around the corner?
I think this ball will bank.
Yeah, he's avoided it. Just avoided
Yeah,
it.
he wasn't trying to make it. He was trying to get it in front of his pocket and get him behind those balls, and that's never a bad play. He just didn't get there. But Bedhead should have won this game a long time ago. He just hasn't played the right shots. Now that's a good play. That's what you want to do. Put a ball over on your side because it reduces your opponent's options. What's he going to do here? Well, it's hard to do anything but make a play on that 14 ball.
Yeah, probably just send it up the table. But
Well, he will, but he's probably going to give up a bank.
yeah,
I mean that's the thing. He's probably going to give something up.
well. Do one pocket players ever play a ball off the point in the middle pockets to try and push it back towards their pocket? Or would that
Well,
be too
it's been
ambitious?
done. Anything's been done, but that's not a typical
That,
shot.
that wouldn't be. That would be a high
Well,
tariff shot.
you can think of all kinds of crazy ways to sell out. That's not hard to do.
I'm letting my imagination get me carried away.
Well, that's part of the problem is that the more novice one pocket players tend to shoot crazy shots that don't work, and then the simple ones that are really effective, like the couple that Bedhead already passed up on those bank shots. Because he's not thinking, well, I can just put him on this combination. Well, nobody's going to shoot a length of the table combination, but it's just he hadn't played enough one pocket where it's obvious to him that, gee, he's got a great play because nobody's going to shoot that shot. All right, well, there is plenty of banking available here. I probably like the 10 ball the best. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong pocket. I was thinking the other guy.
I should clear out again.
Yeah. You've got to put this, if you're going to get this ball out of here, you really want to try to get the cue ball on the end rail because, like that. See, that's what he attempted to do because that makes it hard to do much with the balls up there. Like, he's got a bank on this 10 ball. It's a little tricky. You have to hit this with a lot of inside English, and it comes 2 rails of the corner and it comes straight across. I don't think he'll do that because he A, probably doesn't know the shot, and B, you've got to have a real commitment to shoot it.
Well, I know I would just play this dead weight to my pocket.
He can't do that, not where the balls are sitting. All right, so there's opportunity here. I would probably bank this 10 ball. It's the same sort of shot. You hit this with a lot of inside English.
You mean to Tommy?
let's see, the 10 ball. You hit this with a lot of left English, and you go into the end rail past the 8 ball, and it kills in the corner. I don't think that's what he's doing. He's doing something. He's trying to kill it with draw, which was that was okay. It's just that he ended up hitting it thick because he's afraid of scratching. The other shot was, there was no scratch there, and it was pretty much guaranteed. But if less you play a lot of one pocket, you're not going to be used to hitting bank shots with a ton of inside English. It just doesn't come up.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
the double kiss.
That was a boo boo.
It had to.
He should get 2 out of this, right?
What's he on? He's on 5, so.
If he can get on this 14 ball, which I don't think is terribly difficult, he should get 2 out of this.
Well, I'm just looking to see. He doesn't want to obviously be short in the 14. So he just needs to get himself right up the table here.
Yeah, he could play this 2 or 3 rails, which.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he tried to go that way. Didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to play the 2 railer on the 8 ball here, which is
I
think a good play.
It's a good line, this 8 ball. Oh, he hasn't hit it.
Well, he was trying to get the cue ball there, and that made the shot a lot tougher. I mean, normally in one pocket when you're shooting banks, you would want to hit that as a rolling shot. That was a rolling shot with left English. I understand why he did that, but that makes the shot a lot harder when you try to draw that shot, especially a kill draw.
That 8 ball's a free goal because the 14, you can't pot the 14 into your own pocket from here without scratching.
Now he's going to bank the 14, and I think he's going to want to hit this pretty hard because you do not want to leave this down there because you don't want to sell a bank out. Well, he did not shoot it. I would have shot that and shot it hard so that if it doesn't go, it's going to come out. I mean, obviously, if you miss that ball, you need to miss it on the end rail preferably, because if you miss it on the long rail, it could sell out still. But, he had a chance to move the cue ball down towards end rail and shoot that bank shot.
Well, semi-pros arrived at last. Late to the party again. Good evening.
Well, this could be the game right here. This is not a terribly difficult bank. For a banks player, this is dead, hitting it firm, but I don't think he wants to hit it firm. And he did. He tried to play it like a bank player would play it, but I don't think he put inside on it. That's almost a dead bank there, and those kind of shots, you're hitting just a little bit on the top of the ball and with a little inside, and the cue ball moves to the left like an inch, and a good banks player, that's like a layup for him.
Looks like a draw to the side rail here. No, he's going the other way. I thought he was going to go the opposite way. That'll do it.
Well, now when you get down to these end of the game situations, this is a whole game in itself, is learning how to play these. And if you guys are playing one pocket, a good thing to do a lot of times is to finish games out even if they're over. And I'm not sure. Let's see, how would you do that with virtual pool? I'm not sure you can. I guess you could do it by somebody giving balls back. Boy, did he hit that good.
That's a shot. Well,
all right. Well,
how does he keep this out?
This will come out of here. This is actually pretty easy to get out. He's going to hit this with a low bottom and right English. And that ball will come out of there. Sort
of on the donut and rail, the way I'm showing it on screen. Something like that. Yeah. Well, it looks like he's...
This ball, I'm not sure what he's doing.
Well, it looks like he's going straight at it.
He's trying to scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he needed to do that. Now this is where you can shoot the old okey doke shot. I don't think he knows okey doke, or he's just not willing to hit it. But that was not the shot. If you're not going to shoot the okey doke, you shoot that one ball to send it over to your side, and the four ball off the end rail over to your side. He didn't shoot that right. If you're not going to shoot the okey doke, which is a shot where you try to make the one and the four both, you try to force the one through the four straight into the pocket, and the four ball banks two rails. If you're not going to shoot that, the shot there is to hit the one ball fuller so that the four ball comes off the end rail and it's going to move over towards your side, and the one ball goes straight across and you leave the cue ball on the end rail. So the Slim shot was just not the right shot. It was just giving up table position.
Well, I'd never heard of the okey doke shot. That's a new one to me.
Yeah, well, you'll see guys shoot it sometimes. It depends on the table. I mean, in a tight match, most really good one pocket players probably are not going to shoot that unless they feel good they know how the table is going to react. Most of them are probably going to play the shot I was talking about where the cue ball goes to the end rail and they're just playing ball position. Well, that was a poor shot there because he just gave up the game. What's he doing? I guess he's just looking to see. Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward forward bank shot. Just don't want to hit this too hard. You need to make sure you get to the long rail before the side pocket.
That'll
Just
do
like
it.
that.
Well, we're one game all, folks.
Yeah, it's always.
Potman says his PC's fixed, Steve.
Oh, good.
It's stuttering or whatever it was.
I think it was a VP for our server. I don't know about that, but maybe I did restart them today. We'll see if anybody else was having problems. I know Semi have been having problems, but I mean, we shall see. I couldn't find any problems on the server. Doesn't absolutely mean there weren't any, of course. Okay, so he needs to try to play a positive shot. Boy, this table's breaking good since I worked on the rack some. That's a nice play. Did not sell out a bank. Move balls to his side. Has blockers. I like making a play on the 6 ball here. But that's not a bad play.
Slim's got a problem here.
He's got a lot of options. He's got a real simple shot. Shoot the 12, stop the cue ball right there. Shoot the 12 and the 9. It blows the 9 out of there. The 12 ball is going to cross bank if it doesn't double kiss the 9, which I don't think it will. He's going to move balls on his side. I mean, that's a real straightforward shot. Hit the 12 into the edge of the 9, and you can even get the cue ball locked on the 13 or 3, although I don't think I'd try that because of how the 3's sitting. I'd just stop it right there. Now, he played at the other side of the ball, which I don't think was the best way because it was harder to control the cue ball.
Mm.
But I think he might have got away with it. I mean, he's going to let he let Bedhead see his 10 ball, and I think that's going to get moved right now. I think he should have played it the other way. A lot of times when you have those shots, there's 2 ways to play them. Like, when you have 2 balls down the rail, well, you can play the ball straight into you got a ball in hand because the guy scratched, you got 2 balls on the rail and you're trying to clear them out. You can play it straight into the other ball, or you can play the object ball off the rail. And usually one way is going to be better than the other.
There we go. There's something different. We're looking down One Pocket Slim's queue. Now the thing is, I wonder if my other camera button works. Let me try that.
He could take
No,
this
it doesn't.
bank on if he wants. He can bank the 11 into the 6 and run the cue ball into the 3. Or he could sell out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the shot I was talking about wasn't without risk if you didn't hit it right, but...
Well, that's pretty jerky when you're looking down the player's queue.
Well, I mean, it's doing an interpolated cue movement.
Yeah.
We might be able to smooth that out a little more.
Put it back to do nothing.
He's got himself in some real trouble here now. Neither the 5 or 11 goes, so you could think like, well, gee, that's not that bad. But the problem with that sort of thing is that all it takes is one little bump to separate those balls. Run a ball into them and stuff, and all of a sudden you got 3 balls sitting in front of the pocket that all go. So, unfortunately for Bedhead, he did not play a very good shot there. He wanted to protect the cue ball. So these balls are going to get moved. He's probably just going to kick behind him, get the 5 on his side, and hopefully get on the 11 ball, because if you don't get on the 11 ball, you may sell the 5 out. You could also kick behind it.
You've certainly got room to get there.
You could kick behind it if you want. He's just going to slow roll. That's the safest shot. It's not as positive as some of the other ones.
So he loses a point. Or a ball.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to
He
call
did
it.
not get them separated enough where they go. See, that's a mistake. I mean, with that there, you wanted to at least separate them enough so that at least one of those balls would go.
Yeah.
I think he had some better plays there than doing that.
Yeah, nothing's doing there.
I think he could have hit those harder, or kicked behind it the other way and stuck the cue ball. I mean, there was a bunch of things that could have been done. Oh, that looks like it's no good. I think that 12 ball goes.
Yeah. Plenty of room to get there.
Bedhead does have a pretty easy shot on the 5-11 combo, so he's got to be careful here. I mean, ideally you want to roll this and get on the 3 or the 15 or the 8. I mean, you've got some chances to break the rack up. I'm not sure why he's not looking at this 12 ball. I mean, that's a pretty easy shot. I'm not sure what the heck he's doing here. I don't understand why he's not shooting a 12.
Well, he's locked to 7 anyway.
Yeah, well, he just sold out that 11 ball. I mean, that is not a hard combination with them that close together. I'm not sure why he wasn't thinking about that, but that's a pretty easy combo.
We're getting how to work my bloody camera here. Hang on. Yeah, he's got to chip it. Just chip that edge.
Yeah, I think this could be costly. I mean, he could miss this. I mean, it's not a gimme, but it's not that difficult a shot.
Yeah.
Let's see if he come up with anything. Well, now he's got a chance to make the 12 into 7 here, although as deep as that 7 is in the pocket, that's risky because he could scratch. And if he does, the 7, the 12, and another ball are all coming up.
Now you see that
3 balls.
This shot you're talking about here, Steve, is this what a pro would play? What you talked about there, stunning into the 7 and taking it out the way?
I think he was trying to do that. He was trying to control the speed, and he didn't get to draw back enough. They might. I mean, should I had Warren Kiemko play a couple shots on me with balls like that I thought, boy, he could scratch, and he left me titty hooked on both of them. I mean, it was pretty impressive. So I think it depends on your skill level. I think the shot Bedhead played, he was trying to hit that. He was trying to control the speed, which was smart. I think that was pretty well played, what he did there.
You guys that are watching, do you prefer this lower camera? Because I think I've got it in the wrong setting. I think I chose the wrong setting there when I went back to what I originally had. It's normally the higher view camera.
Yeah, I think you just want to go back to the the snooker camera view.
What one did I choose?
Yeah, it's
Down
the
and
other
above.
one.
Down and above. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's the one you want.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot better view.
That looks dead to me.
Well, all right. You want to know a crazy play? Not that I'm saying he should shoot this, but he could play the 10 ball off the 5 and then the 14 and into his pocket. I know that looks like a crazy shot, but that kind of shot, if you've played it a lot, isn't as hard as it looked. And there's a lot of shots coming out of the rack like that good players are going to look for. I mean, that's one of the first things you should always do when you're playing one pocket is look at the rack. And not only from a point of view of being offensive yourself, but what kind of things are sitting in there to look good for your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what he's trying to do here. I don't really like that shot. I mean, it
No,
wasn't terrible.
it's up towards his pocket, and it's fairly straight.
Yeah, that's what saved him was getting it. His speed was pretty good. But that shot was touchy with the draw and stuff. I mean, it could have gone a lot worse where the ball wasn't that close to the pocket. I think he's just going to have to do something with the 3 ball here. I don't see a lot of choices. I don't like this play. That was not that. Not only was it not a positive play, but he left the 3 ball there, which you really don't want to do because now, he's going to get stuck on the rack here. The right play is to thin this 2 and put the cue ball right on that 13-14. And, now Bedhead's kicking at balls. That was just not the right play. He needed to take the 3 ball out of there.
Well, Slim's not looking at your shot.
Well, that's the right shot to play. I mean, I'm not sure what else is really a good shot. I mean, he needs to protect the 3 ball.
Yeah, he's trying to come back.
It's a very simple shot to thin that 2 ball.
No, he's trying to stun in to cover, use the pack as a cover.
Yeah, well, he was trying to get another ball down there, but he should have just played the simple shot off the 2 and locked him right on that 13-14 because that, let me tell you that you start coming to the table every turn when you're locked on the rack, and you're going to find out real fast that that's not a good place to be. And he had an easy shot to do it. He had a perfect angle on the 2 just to thin that and come right back into the rack.
Slim looks as if he's going to play the obvious here and bank this back up and down towards the 3. But they could be cleared out in a second or two, though.
if you take a look at this now, see, he doesn't have that shot on the 2 now, because from that angle it was no good. So he wasted a turn he had.
Well, that's worked out. That's bailed him out
Yeah,
there.
that was a nice shot, and that was the best way to play it, was off the rail, the way that 3 ball was sitting. Let's see whether he can capitalize here. I mean, you can get on the 2 ball here. Oh, he's going to get by it. Oh, boy, he hit that pretty good. He didn't get there. So he's got some opportunities here. I think the 10 ball goes possibly off this 15 ball. He didn't even look at it. Yeah, I don't think it went. I'm looking at it closer now.
But get my lines
It's
to
locked
work.
on the 14. It wouldn't have gone.
That would have been the idea.
But you gotta look for those kind of shots. I mean, carom shots come up a lot. Carom and billiard shots.
Yeah. I'll tell you my best shot in one pocket. I think it was something like that. You know, it was like 2 balls sitting like that, and I banked up and down to play the bank. I mean, that's probably a shot a lot of guys play when there's, when the balls are clustered together in the stack, as you guys call it. But that was, again, this is why Steve's saying you do have to study the pack. Really close every time anything nudges to the pack. You've always got to double check the pack.
Yeah.
In case
Like he
something's
had a
set.
chance there to possibly kick into the 14, and the 14 coming off the 5 ball into the 10. Looking at it close, I don't think it was a great shot. It wasn't quite sitting right, but you got to be looking at those shots. Because the shot he shot, he ended up selling out the 2 ball. I mean, Bedhead didn't make it, but that was an easy bank. And the way Bedhead shot it, you got to shoot those at pocket speed. You cannot afford to leave this kind of shot because, it's just too easy. So Slim made the mistake of leaving that bank, and then Bedhead made the mistake of hitting his bank in a way that did not leave the 2 ball close enough to the pocket. So, I mean, it's sell out and then sell out again. And, but I think we're going to see that a lot with these guys because they obviously, they're obviously not great one pocket players. I mean, I think Slim has a little better idea. I mean, he looks like he's a little bit more of an old school one pocket player. But there's a lot of mistakes being made on both sides here.
I'll take your word for that, Steve.
Well,
I haven't a
I mean,
clue.
I think Slim has an advantage moving. I think Bedhead has an advantage as far as ball pocketing. So it's going to end up being an interesting match, I think, because of that. I mean, isn't that the best kind of match? One that's going to be really close.
Oh yeah, I mean, it can go either way. One rack all, nothing in it. One false move and anything can happen.
Yeah, if you
Which is
guys
it?
want to,
It's the beauty of one pocket.
oh yeah, if you guys want to learn one pocket and you want to see how really good players play, go on YouTube and search for Tony Chohan and watch him play. I mean, you'll see some shots that you're like, you got to be kidding me. He's shooting this. I mean, and he'll hit them brilliantly. It's really amazing watching him play. Justin Hall, Josh Roberts, Scott Frost. I mean, all those guys, and of course Efren, who's probably the greatest one pocket player ever.
There are hundreds of videos. Hundreds of
Yeah.
videos. Now, is that going to be covered? No, he's got it covered.
Pagalion's another one that plays real strong. I wouldn't use him as a model one pocket player. I'd use somebody like Josh Roberts or Justin Hall, Johan, those kind of guys are, I think, better pure one pocket players than Pagalion. Pagalion's just such a strong ball pocketer and pool player. I mean, you can make up for a lot by great shot making and running out.
Well, I suppose this is a very difficult question to answer. Um, who would you? I mean, who would you say in the
That's
people that
no
you've
good.
seen is the most creative one pocket player?
Well, I'd have to say it's probably Efren. Um, I've seen Efren do amazing things. I mean, that was a terrible shot by Slim. He sold out that bank, and now he's in real trouble here. I think he's just going to have to give this 10 ball up. Yeah, Efren, I've watched him play one pocket a lot, in person, and it's really pretty amazing. I think Tony Chohan's another one that you want to see somebody shoot very difficult shots. He probably kicks better than anybody I've ever seen kick shots. Um, I mean, Efren, besides shooting difficult shots well, he runs out. He takes racks where, most really good or great players will get 5 or 6 balls, and Efren runs out. He figures out a way how to loosen up balls that nobody else is going to, and he runs out. So I'd have to say probably Efren first as far as creative, and Chohan second. Well, the other guy that's really creative is Corey Duel.
Mm.
I mean, Corey Duel is, you know, I wouldn't say he's really a pure one pocket player. I mean, he'll self admit that, he's not, he doesn't play one pocket as good as some other guys, but the creativity, I mean, he'll shoot shots that nobody else would even look at. So yeah, Corey Duel would be another one. But if you want to see how to play one pocket the right way, especially for somebody being more novice, I'd look at Josh Roberts and Justin Hall because they play a little bit more sane game. If you watch Tony Chohan, you watch the kicks he's shooting, and you try to shoot those kick shots, you're going to find out real fast that those are really hard and you don't do them well, and you sell out a lot when you do it. Well, this game's really going Bedhead's way. I mean,
Well, this 4 ball for a 2-1
yeah,
lead.
he's going to need to do something. The 5 ball doesn't go. He's probably going to try to run into these balls. I mean, I think it's going to. Well, he's not even going to try that. It was going to be tough to come out with something. Oh, that was his last ball.
That was a winning ball. Yeah.
I keep miscounting balls. I mean, I got a score right in front of me. I guess I'm too dumb to look at it.
So 2-1 lead.
Can we see Steve take on the winner? Well, you know what? That would be fun. Steve would need to practice some one pocket on virtual pool to do it.
Well, that'll be in about 4 or 5 years' time, guys. Once Steve's got his practice done.
Oh, I could get my practice done a lot quicker now. I just have to get motivated to get on virtual pool and start playing. I mean, honestly, my one pocket game is not great in real life. Not because, of my knowledge base,
No,
because
because
I've
you're
played a
mixed.
fair amount and
You're,
I learned from a great player. It's just because
you're bumping
I've
into the wrong
never,
guys. You're probably
I've,
mixing with real quality guys. A lot of times you were involved in it, I
oh
would
yeah,
imagine.
I played Chemco. I played a lot of guys. I played Parika. I played uh, uh, Billy Thorpe. I mean, I played a
Well,
lot of guys. The thing is uh,
well, that's throwing yourself right in at the deep end.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like a cat, and one pocket's like water. I mean, it's not a game that I've ever particularly played well. You know, just I'm not saying I haven't played some good one pocket, but and I've played one pocket for a lot of money before too. But it's not a game that I'm particularly strong at in real life. Never know, I might end up being better at it on virtual pool. I always figure out how to do something stupid. Like Thorpe, I was in the match with Thorpe, and I moved 2 balls in a rack and fouled, and it cost me the whole match. It was 1-1. It was game was 6-1 me. I was just going to knock a ball to my side and put him on the rack, and I mean, it was going to be very difficult for him to win the game from where it was. It'd be 2-1 me, race to 3, and I miscue trying to hit this ball, bridge across the rack, move 2 balls, which is a foul, and sell out all at once. So, I mean,
That's got to hurt.
just yeah, it's find a way to lose. And uh, but when you're playing a great player like Thorpe, I mean, that's it doesn't take much to lose. These guys, they're making. If they were playing somebody that was a really strong one pocket player, they'd be getting drilled so bad. I mean, because they're making a lot of mistakes. You cannot, you know, shoot shots that aren't positive. You can't sell out stuff. I mean, good players will just kill you when that happens.
I don't know whether you saw that question from here, Pig, or did you answer it and I wasn't listening? Which player was your one pocket mentor, Steve?
That was Frank the Barber, who still plays good. He's 80 now. He still plays good.
This could end up, well, it could end up a long one. It could be all over in the blink of an eye.
Well, I mean, we need to get some positive shots going. I mean, Slim's got the table position. He just, he doesn't want to just start hitting balls up table from here because he's down. Um, I think the problem is he can't leave a bank on the 5, and that's no good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're Bedhead, you've just been given a gift.
How aggressive does Bedhead want to be here?
Well, I mean, the ideal shot is to move this cue ball over there into the 15, because it's pretty safe if you bump that 15. The 5-11 doesn't go, and if you get over there, you've got shots on the 8, the 10. You're going to get a lot of balls. So that's what I would be trying to do here. Is I'd be trying to run this ball into the 15 ball.
And you're talking about cutting a 7.
Stop. Well, and that's you may not have anything. The problem with getting behind it is, now you're shooting combos.
I was looking at that. I was thinking that was a 15. It's the 15 there.
Yeah, he's going to probably shoot the 10-11 combo and stop the cue ball. Maybe pull it back a little. I mean, he's got to make sure he doesn't sell something out there. But the 10-11 is probably the best shot. He cannot go forward. If he tries to go forward, he's going to sell out the 5. Yeah, that's the shot right there. And, he didn't make it. That was a lost opportunity there. If he could have run that, he need a little more English. If he could have run that cue ball into the 15, he was going to get a lot of balls. And that's one of the things about one pocket. It's a very difficult game as far as cue ball movement, I mean, you've got to be really precise if you're going to, take advantage of the table. Hairpick says, thanks to Daniel Bush. Yeah, Daniel Bush, POV pool. Well, Frank played a lot at hard times. He won that hard times one pocket tournament a lot of times. And tell you the kind of player he was, I mean, there were several times he got in the final with Santos, and Santos wanted to split. And Santos was a great player. Very good one pocket player, too. Well, Bedhead's getting way too many chances.
Now, what do you do here, Steve? You've got a.
Well, you've absolutely got to do something with a 7 ball, and you cannot kick it at the 10 and 11 are sitting there.
Now, I'll tell you the shot I would play because I haven't a clue. I would skim off the 10 and run in behind the 7.
Oh, boy, that's
because
that's not bad.
That's because I don't know what I'm doing.
It's sitting. I mean, you have to hit that 10 real thin. I mean, he could, if he could get the cue ball out of the way, he could play the 10-7 bank, but I'm not sure he can get that cue ball out of there. Yeah, see, that's the problem with that shot. But he came out pretty good out of it. I mean, I don't think Bedhead's going to take that 11 ball on unless he's real confident.
You see, that's why it's good here, Pig, to have a totally novice one-pocket player watch this and try and see a shot.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to move balls out of here and not sell out a bank. When the balls are spread out like this, the way they are here, it's very dangerous because of 2 reasons. One is it's easy to sell out a bank, and the other is that if you sell out anything, the other guy's got a lot of open balls to run. So you've got to be super careful when the balls are sitting like this. And, he just sold out a bank. So, I mean, it is possible to miss this kiss.
Ooh.
He's got to hit it good, but
see, these are the shots that scare me in one pocket. Trying that cross bank and a double kiss coming into play.
Well, the biggest problem is it's on the wrong side of the pocket. I mean, hitting this with left English, it's easier if it's on the other side of the pocket.
Now you're asking, did you leave the 8? Was that maybe 2 shots ago? Because I wasn't paying attention there, here, Pig.
Well, the 8 here doesn't go. He may play the aggressive play here. Nope. That's no good. He just sold out a bank on the 9. The only good thing about this is it's hard to get shape on the 5 ball. He'd have to hit it. Well, I don't think he can get on the 5 ball way this is.
I don't think he can stun up into. Well, he could be really aggressive and stun up into the 15. Need to jack up though to play that.
No, that's a crazy shot. He's just trying to play his position, which I think what he was trying to do is get him on the 5 ball, which would have been a good shot. He just didn't get there. It wasn't a bad idea. But, the way he put that 9 ball, he didn't sell out anything.
Well, usually there's only like a second and a half delay on Twitch here, Pig.
Yeah. Now this is a bad situation for Slim because he's going to make this bank and get up on that 5 ball.
Oh,
whoa!
There's a big mistake.
How did he hit that?
Yeah, well, that's a double kiss. That's
I'm not sure.
The nemesis.
I'm not sure how he hit that to kiss. There was no kiss there. Boy, I wish I could have seen how he hit that because there wasn't a kiss on that shot.
Yeah, I think that you've got to remember that your chat from Twitch goes via restream and then is fed back to the live stream.
Boy, that's just another gift there. He just sold out the 9 ball again. This is an easy bank. You need to hit this with right English. So the cue ball goes behind the 9-15. And, you're going to get a good shot on the 14 and 1. Now, there is some risk here because you're going to leave bank if you don't make it.
Not looking
but you
at
want
it.
to hit this in pocket speed so it's in the pocket so at least the guy has something to think about if he's going to
He's
gonna
not
shoot at that
interested
bank.
in it. Going for the 13. I think it was the 13.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't really like that play, but I guess, because it wasn't safe. He left a shot on the one ball. It was well played. He's going to have to play the 5, though, unless he wants to play the combo. I think the 5 ball is a better shot. You can control the speed on this 5 ball. You can get a shot on the 8 ball if you play the 5. And if you control the speed well, even if it doesn't go in, you've left the 5 in front of your pocket with blockers to get the 1 and the 14 to block.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he's not shooting the 5 ball. See, I just don't get this.
Well, that is the
Well,
big
not only
sellout.
was it a bad choice, he ended up scratching. I mean, he could have shot that 5 ball with some inside English and killed the ball a little off the end rail, and he didn't have to even make the 5 ball, and he would have been in a good position.
Well, Slim's got to get. Well, what? I mean, if he finishes in the gap, he could get the 5 if he leaves himself an angle. Don't know whether he wants to risk running through it. Aye.
Well,
With these
I
tight.
don't like shooting this 5 ball at all. I'd much rather shoot the 11 ball. Even if he was, just going to run it down. Well, he was able to get on the 9. That wasn't a bad shot. I think that actually was a pretty good choice. Able to get there. I didn't realize you could get to that long rail with that kind of angle, but yeah, this is good. He's
So
going to have to play for the 15, I think, unless he's going to bump the 14. Well,
no.
that was playing a little too safe. I'm not sure what he's trying to do there, but he killed the cue ball pretty effectively.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wide open table to get on the 15. I don't know why.
Yeah, see, that's just not taking big enough advantage, and that shot's just sort of a ho-hum. That's not a very positive shot. Yeah, he moved the ball onto his side of the table, but he's really not putting a whole lot of pressure on Bedhead there. I think you need to play more positive shot than that. All right. Well, the shot I like here is the 8 off the 14. Bank shot. Hit the 8 off the 14 and bank it. But I only like it if you can find a way to get a shot. I think that's too risky at this point. I just don't think I think he could just sell out too easily. But that's the kind of shot you need to be looking for. I think the angle on the 80 had to cut it was just too much. But those kind of shots, you think they're difficult, but if you start playing those, they're not as hard as you think they are. Another very common shot is banking balls back into the rack or other balls off other balls into the pocket. You can play them both ways: ball, bank, pocket, or bank, ball, pocket. And those are all shot a lot in one pocket. He's got the same shitty angle to play that shot.
Well, maybe Slim and Bedhead could do better if they took your advice and looked at some of these guys you're talking about in YouTube and
Well, of course.
watch how they play certain shots.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's lots of great pool that you can watch. I mean, like I said, I would watch Justin Hall and Josh Roberts just because they play a style that's, I think, a little bit more transferable to the guys here online. Watching Tony Chohan or Corey Duel play, watching the crazy shots they shoot probably isn't the best way to learn. But I mean, Justin Hall's a tremendous one pocket player. I'd put him, top three in the country. And Josh Roberts certainly in the top 10. Me personally, I think he's maybe fifth or sixth best one pocket player in the country. But
double kiss off the six.
the other great thing about these matches is there's some great commentary. Like I was watching a match, I don't remember who it was between. I think it was Dennis Okoye and somebody else, and Josh Roberts was commentating. And it's amazing, Dennis Okoye is a great player, but you realize that he doesn't play great one pocket, listen to Josh Roberts commentate because he doesn't always play the right shots. But, he pockets balls and moves the cue ball so good, he's super dangerous. I mean, he can beat anybody because of his high level of pull skills. Uh-oh. He tried to play the two-railer, and instead he played the sellout.
Well, I think this has got a long way to go, this, right?
Well, I mean, the shot to play here is rail first. I mean, that's how you're going to get a shot. He can get a shot on the 12 ball if he plays this rail first, and if he gets the 12 ball, he's going to get a bunch. Oh, he was able to make the pocket big.
Oh,
unfortunately, he didn't get there.
Well, he's got a very ambitious combo.
Well, but it's safe to shoot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with shooting that because you cannot sell out. I mean, you definitely should shoot this combination because what's going to happen is see, that's not the right shot. He could have shot that combination, put the cue ball right on top of that one ball. He doesn't even really want to make the combination. He just wants to stick the 12 ball over by his hole. He had to be a little careful with the 8 ball, but I think the way they were sitting, that shot was good. Instead, he played a weak shot and sold out the bank, and he's lucky he's not losing a bunch of balls. Yeah, I don't agree here, Pig. I think he could have shot that. I mean, where that 13 ball is sitting, I think he could have shot it. He was going to have to get the cue ball on the 1. Yeah, semi-pro. Yeah, he does play a lot of ridiculous shots, but he plays them well. They're only ridiculous when you don't play them well.
Just try to drop behind the 7 here, I think.
That was well played. Because you put guys in a position where now it's hard, it's hard to protect that 7 ball. You can even put him in a position where he has to push the 7 ball away from his own pocket. I think from here he's going to shoot the bank on the 15 because that's pretty much free. I mean, ideally, Bedhead would need to get all the way behind the 7 because you give a good one pocket player that, like, for a guy like Chohan or Justin Hall or these guys that can really bank well, I mean, that's probably, well, it's probably an 80% shot if it's not on the rail. From where that is, was probably a 60% shot, that they're going to make it. And it's a free shot because, you're not going to give anything up. At least if you hit it at the right speed. You see the speed that Slim hit it, he left this bank on the 15. He needed to get that 15 close to his pocket.
The one thing though, when you talk about these pro level guys playing one pocket, Steve, they're playing on the 9-footer. I would imagine most of the time, and
well, not always, but most of the time.
The pockets aren't the pockets are bigger than these. Are they not
Well,
four and
that's
a
not.
half?
Oh, that's not necessarily true.
No.
One pocket's played on tight pocket tables a lot.
Mm.
I mean, that's very common. Hard times, the tournament room, all the pockets are 4-inch pockets like this. So, and a couple tables are 3 and 7/8. So, one pocket's a good game on tight pockets, and uh, the other thing to think about, Hugh, is that when these guys are shooting these crazy shots, they're not necessarily shooting them just to make balls. They're shooting them to get table position.
Mm-hmm.
So you can shoot a craziest shot you've ever seen. If you move a bunch of balls over to your side of the table and do not sell out anything to the other guy, then you've just hit a great shot because you've put him in a bad position. You've made the table good for yourself. That one shot might turn the whole game around. It might turn into being the reason you won.
Mm-hmm.
So shooting crazy shots is not uh, necessarily about pocketing balls. A lot of times it's not about pocketing balls.
So in that sense, it is strategically it's a bit like chess, even though I don't play chess or understand it. But manoeuvring your opponent into position where he's backed into a corner, controlling the table,
Oh yeah, for
are
sure. I mean,
utmost importance in this game.
I use that analogy a lot. All other pool games are checkers, and one pocket's chess. It's just so much more complex game. You shoot way more difficult shots. It's yeah, it's much more difficult game. And it's easy to sit here and criticize these guys, but I'll tell you, this is a very difficult game. You can play this game a lifetime and not master it.
Why did Hard Times close? Is that the one that
Uh,
Steve talks about in Bellflower, is it?
yeah, the Bellflower one closed. It's just it it wasn't making money. The guy that owned it, you know, didn't want to do anything with it. The one in Sacramento is still open. Oscar Dominguez owns that one, and the one in Sacramento is a lot nicer. The problem the Belfair one had, they didn't have alcohol there, so that right off the bat is it's very
Oh
difficult
yeah,
to have a pool room without
yeah,
alcohol.
yeah. That's how our snooker hall closed. You know, once people stop going to the bar, that's where the money's made. They don't make the money in people playing pool. We make it in the bar.
Yeah, if you've got a good pool room, you can, and you do a lot of pool
Good.
time, you can cover your expenses like you can cover your rent, you can cover your electric bill, and you can cover maybe your employees if you've got really good pool business.
Yeah, good food
But you
as
still
well.
haven't made any money, so the alcohol is critical. Well, a real opportunity here. Let's shoot this. See that? I don't get. You had a free shot on the 13 ball. I don't understand why you didn't shoot the 13 ball. All you had to do, or what is that? The 12
But
ball. I don't understand why you didn't bank the 12 ball. All you had to do is roll the cue ball to the long rail. It was a free shot. So yeah, some of these decisions are mystifying me. You hear Big Santa's like chess. You can look ahead a couple, three moves. I mean, really good players will look ahead a few moves. I mean, I think at a basic level, you want to, if you're going to shoot a shot, you want to say to yourself, well, okay, I'm going to shoot this shot and put my cue ball over here. What's my opponent going to do? So you at least want to look one level ahead. Is if I shoot this shot, what's my opponent going to do?
well, this is Chinese snooker. If he's going to look at these two balls, I mean, he was looking at them. I don't know what he was planning to do with them there, but
Yeah, that's not a terrible shot. He could have kicked that ball too. You're not seeing these guys shoot it, but in one pocket you shoot a lot of balls that you kick it, like that kind of thing where it's pretty close to the rail, because you can kick that ball and can control the cue ball.
So you mean kick it like that and the cue ball goes back that way?
Yeah,
Kick it up
yeah,
towards your pocket.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sort of
I mean
kicking behind it in the rail and hitting it sort of half ball to push it up towards your pocket and bringing the cue ball back into the top end of the
kick
table.
shot. Kick shots are played a lot on one
Cue
pocket.
ball.
Uh-oh, watch out. Whoa. Well, okay, it came out good. Now he's got a bank on the 2. And if he makes this, he's got the 8 and the 13. So this is a good opportunity here. It's pretty natural to run the cue ball. He's not going to shoot this? You got to be kidding. Unbelievable. I can't believe he's not shooting that ball.
You're talking about banking that and letting the cue ball run up the table and around to the left side to play
Yeah,
those.
he's on the 8 and the 12. You hit that with running English, open it up.
Now, is that not overly aggressive though? You're talking about being
No,
positive. Is that not being a bit too
no, not at
ambitious?
all. Because that's a shot you can control the speed on the 2 ball. Okay, so you can shoot that at pocket speed. It was sitting good where he could get on the 8 and 13. I mean, there was very little go wrong. And the thing you got to realize about that is where the cue ball's coming, it's not going to leave him a bank anyways unless you hit it terrible. Whether the cue ball's on a long rail or the end rail, and the cue ball's on his side of the table, there's no, there's, I just don't get it.
Well, we've got a proper mess up in this corner here. I'm going to try to tuck away.
Well, that was a good idea, but it could cost him because he just left a shot, I think.
Well,
I think he left the 8-2 combo.
yeah, it's not
Got to be a
quite
little
set.
careful shooting that.
He could get a brush off that. What's the pink one? The 13 is it, or is it the 12? Anyway,
Yeah.
no, not interested either.
Well, the problem with shooting that is it's going to be hard to protect the cue ball.
Yep.
I mean,
That's the sort of ambitious shot I would have had a go at and lost the rack because of it.
yeah. See, like me, I'm immediately looking at that 2 and 12. It wasn't a good shot because it wasn't going to go in, but okay, now he's got a free shot. He should definitely shoot this 8-2 combo.
Yeah.
Because he's going to hit I think he can hit the 8th and enough. He can get to the end rail, and it's a pretty safe shot. He didn't hit it thin enough, but even, hitting it wrong, I mean, look what he gets. He gets a ball near his pocket, and Slim's going to have to deal with that now.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have tried to deal with it there right then. At least not like that, because he just sold out. I mean, that's the thing is if you've got 2 balls, you got to move out. You need to hit that ball a lot less thin because you lose all the energy out of the 12 ball and end up selling out. Well, you're probably going to play for the 11 here.
Well, he's
decided to play for the 8.
Oh, now, is he going to try and drag off this 8 and tuck into the corner for the 11? Because he might scratch.
See what the angle's like. Yeah, I mean, I would be doing that.
Yeah, he's just a little stunning draw.
Yep, that's the right way to shoot it. Make sure you don't scratch. Probably just run down here and shoot the bank on the 2 ball. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh.
So
now again, with this kind of shot, you want to hit at pocket speed.
Or something like that. That's probably not
Uh,
the line, but that would
I
be
would
a.
bank this. I wouldn't kick behind this one. I would bank this, and I would try to get pocket speed.
I'm in the wrong pocket here.
Yeah, that's not a terrible shot. I mean, that's the thing is, when you can get both balls on the same side, there's no bank shot here, or not one that's going to be very easy. You'd have to hit this like God to make it. I mean, nobody's going to shoot that bank.
I had my lines up
Now,
there for the wrong pocket. I'm
now
getting confused.
he could shoot a two rail bank here. That's what he might. Well, I don't know if he's looking at it. But there was a two rail bank. And if this is me, I'm banking the seven ball. You got to hit this with a lot of left English so that you kill the cue ball and keep it here. He's not interested in that. I probably would have banked the seven ball there. Now things are going to slow down. We're going to get the old wedge going down here. Now, if you're slim, what you want to do is start pocketing balls. And the reason why is you want to get balls on the spot. You need, for you to win, you have to have balls down table.
Yeah,
And
potting the balls.
that's what he just tries to do, except he just sold out. So I
Get
mean,
some lined up.
yeah. I mean, you can start pocketing balls and just start building them up on that head spot. He played a very aggressive play and ended up selling out. I mean,
Game, set, and
it might not
match.
have been a bad idea, but it
So,
wasn't what he wanted to do.
well, let's hope the two guys go watch the video. Go watch that and then watch some of these other guys you're talking about, Steve, because they do. I mean, they're probably the best in VP4 at Onepocket, but from your assessment, they've got a long way to go to that
Yeah,
next level.
yeah. There's a lot of room for improvement, but Onepocket's like that. I mean, Onepocket's a hard game, and I'm sure that both those guys hit some shots that weren't the way they wanted to hit them. That the shot might have been okay if they would have hit them, executed them better. I mean, that's the thing about Onepocket is you have a shot that's a pretty good shot to shoot at, and you hit it poorly, and then you end up looking like a complete idiot when it really wasn't that that bad a shot. So I give them credit for playing. I hope more people play. It's a phenomenal game. I mean, honestly, if it was me playing a lot on VP4, I would get tired of playing nine ball. I mean, I would never get tired of playing Onepocket, but I would get tired of playing nine ball eventually.
Hmm. Well,
Onepocket's just so much more interesting.
it definitely takes your it tests your synapses and everything else that's going on inside your head. That's what I think about it.
Well, you
And
ought to start playing, Hugh. But I would encourage people to go watch some videos before they play, just to sort of get an idea what good Onepocket looks like.
yeah, there's bound to be tutorial videos as well, rather than watching a match. But there's probably tutorial videos about set shots you should be looking to play, that sort of thing. If you are going to
Yeah,
be looking to take it up.
you know, you'd think there would be, but there's not as many as you think. I'm not saying there isn't, because there are some things
Yeah, I've not looked for them, but
on
I'm just
Onepocket.
assuming that there's one or two guys with some tips and things. But then again, you get probably better tips by actually watching a match and listening to guys who know what they're talking about. That's probably the best thing about it as
Yeah,
well.
watching a match with good commentation, which I, I can't guarantee it's going to be. I mentioned that one match. It was played in Phoenix. There was a tournament in Phoenix, and actually, I think it was POV Pool that did it. And Josh Roberts did some commentation. Another guy that really knows how to play Onepocket is Jeremy Jones. There's a lot of Derby City matches that he's commentated. Um, because a lot of the commentation on some of these is really poor. You get guys in there that don't know what they're talking about, but
Hmm.
those guys for sure are great. And if I was going to pick a player to watch that I would say is a really good player to watch, I'd say Justin Hall or Josh Roberts, because I think their games will translate more. The only thing I'll caution you about is that if you watch those guys play, they get a short rail bank, they're going to shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless it's some crazy short rail bank, they're going to shoot it. They're going to fire away. And the reason, and if they miss it, they're going to lose. But the reason why they shoot it is because they're thinking, this is like a 70 or 80% bank, and if I make this, I'm winning. So you'll see those guys fire at some balls too that, as novices, until you learn to bank a lot better, you may not want to shoot it. But they're still a lot closer to what you guys want to do, because they don't play the kind of shots that a guy like a Chohan or Corey Duel. Most of the
Yeah.
shots that they play are some level of sanity to them. So yeah, I would encourage everybody to start watching more YouTube and start playing some one pocket. And it would be great if we got a group of guys that were playing one pocket, and I came in here every day and I saw rooms that had one pocket going.
Well, Wizard Cheat seems to like it, although I don't know how. I mean, I've never watched him play, but I would imagine he's fairly ambitious in how he plays. I don't know how he squares up to Bedhead and Slim, but he's about the only other guy I ever see playing it. Um,
Well, it's like any other pool game. The better your pool skills are, the easier it's going to be to
yeah.
learn. But I think the problem for guys that are players, you take all these guys that are championship level players in nine ball, it doesn't translate into great one pocket. They have good pool skills, but you have to learn how to play one pocket. You have to understand the game better. You have to learn how to bank better. You have to learn how to kick better. You have to learn how to play the end of the game. There's so many things that you have
Mm.
to learn. But at least, you got a lot of guys that are starting with good pool skills, so they could become pretty good one pocket players if they
Uh,
put some time into it.
Good evening, Slim. Thanks for the match. Thanks for Bedhead as well. I hope you watch the rerun of the stream, because Steve's got one or two little points to make about how you guys were playing, and it might be worth listening. Uh,
Yeah, it was great having you guys play. I'd love to see more people playing one pocket in here. I encourage you guys to keep playing and try to get other guys involved, because we could have a great community of people in here playing that game.
yeah. Well done to Bedhead, unlucky Slim, and thanks for everybody. Thanks for anybody that's still out there watching, and thanks for Steve for joining. I don't know what the next match will be. I don't think Stubbs up for anything. He's staying well out of the way. He's not. He's not interested. The only way. The only way. The only way you're going to get Stubb into one of these matches, Steve, is if you back him. That's the only way he's going to play.
He's going to have to man up. He's got plenty of V dollars. He needs to man up and play. And I kind of think one pocket's probably not the best choice for him right out the bat, because I don't think he's played that much.
Yeah.
But I mean, certainly any of these rotation games, it's just the problem with Stubb is that he puts so much pressure on himself. He does all this talking and this and that. And if he gets in this match, there's going to be, he's going to put unbelievable pressure on himself. And, that's hard to win. The way you want to go into these matches where you're gambling is you want to play like you care less.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not really that easy to play that way. But, mentally, you don't want to be feeling, you know, a lot of heat because you're not going to play well. And I think Stubb would have real trouble if he played one of these matches, at least unless he was playing somebody that had no chance. Then he'd
Well,
play great. But I think he plays somebody that's just going to fire at him. He's in trouble.
well, I watched Stubb this morning in a challenge room. They were playing 10 ball, not 10 ball. They were playing 8 ball world rules, and he was playing VP Monster, who is no mug. And Stubb never won a rack in all the racks I watched, and very quickly the room was finished. I think Stubb bailed out in the end. So he's got a lot to. I mean, he's going to go into this 8 ball tournament, and on the 10 footer, which he doesn't play a lot on. and there's a lot of guys that can manoeuvre that cue ball better than him, and
Yeah.
he's going to find it tough. Because I'll tell you that these runs in this 8-ball tournament are not that long, and these guys can break, get a ball and run out. Stubbs going to be right up against it. He's going to find that out. By the
Yeah.
way, AAMS or AMS 3000 3200, that's a name I've never seen before, but welcome. He's asking, who's that with you? Just to make an introduction before we say goodbye, it's the developer of Virtua Pool 4, Steve Chaplin, who's responsible for all your problems. I keep blaming him. Why I've been playing this game for 20 years and more, and why all you guys have been playing it as well. So it's thanks to Steve, or blame Steve, whatever you want, whatever you want to do.
It's gonna be a hello goodbye.
So we're all going to head out. I'm going for a coffee. Steve's going to go and sort out the cowboy rules because he's got work to do there. And by the way, Steve, I still want my white lines on the pool table.
There are white. You mean okay? There's white lines on the snooker table. You want them on the pool table.
We want them as the pros have them on the pool table. You know when they play. I was watching guys playing English billiards on the 10-footer the other day. The English billiards has the white lines on the pool table. So
yeah, well, if you it's done by game, but you know typically pool tables don't have white lines on them. I mean, I'm not saying I never seen them, but typically they use black lines.
Pro tables are white lines, Steve, admit it.
Well, they might be in Europe. You know, that's the thing is you guys in Europe, if you're only watching pool in Europe, you're going to see, you know, you watch the World Masters and all that kind of stuff that match room puts on, and you know you're going to see 9-ball on the head spot, guys cut breaking, and your white lines. But you watch pool in other places in the world, you're probably not going to see that.
Slim wants to fix the double bank, Steve. He wants it to treble bank again, like it used to.
Well, I mean, you should still be able to double bank. You got to hit it at the right speed and get it to open up, but it should still work.
Yeah. Right, guys.
You can always send me a shot that you think should work, and I'll look at it. But you got to have offline to do that. I'm
calling it a night, guys. Thanks y'all for joining. Thanks for Steve for joining. Thanks for his insight into the game, because I would have been no use commentating in that, as you can see. So
well, you're a tactical genius, so you'll get it figured out pretty quick.
But I'm out. I'm out my depth in that game. I hold my hands up. So thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Stay safe. You too, Steve. And hopefully we can have something like this again. Whoever's up for it.
All right.
So
thanks, guys.
Good night, chaps. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Good night.
Thanks, Steve.